My mom and dad took Max's life-saving money, then they hurt him. I ran away with Max. My grandma helped us stay. We fought them together. This story tells how bad my parents acted. They wanted money. They hurt Max. I had to save Max. I stayed awake all night. I had to do it. No other way. My family said, lights off at 8 p.m. always. My friend said, get a new player. You are too tired. I knew. I must change. Then I learned my parents did bad things for money. I had to be smart. I had to save Max. I saved Max. I did not sleep. My family had strict rules. Lights off at 8 p.m., no games. My only friend said, find a new player. This one is too slow. I thought, I need a plan. She liked me. I was different at school. If she left, I lost all. I learned, sleep like a rock, eyes shut, breathe slow. Mom checked with a light. She never knew. Max came in. He wagged his tail. He was happy for me. One night, something bad happened. Mom and Dad came at 11:30 p.m. My eyes were open a little. I saw Mom open my money box. Dad held a phone light. Mom whispered, take $70 from his box. Take $50 from his Pokemon cards. She counted the money. Then, the worst part. Mom went to my desk. She took Max's surgery jar. I wrote Max's surgery on it. Mom said, $40 here. She put it in her purse. She said, Max is old. This money can win big tonight. I felt sick. All my money? They used it for gambling. They thought I was asleep. Weeks passed. We played a game. At dinner, I said, Max looks sick. Mom and Dad looked at each other. I knew. Next morning, Mom said, your phone was warm last night. She watched my face. I said, it was charging. Mom said, it was not plugged in. I waited too long. I said, I sleep on it sometimes. Mom said, body heat? She nodded, but she did not believe me. Mom and Dad tested me. They took pictures. Dad showed me a photo. It was my charger. He said, explain this. Yesterday, by your bed. Today, by your desk. I said, I moved it. I don't know. Dad showed more photos. He said, Tuesday, Wednesday, different places. My mouth was dry. I said, I am cleaning my room. We stared. Mom called, dinner time. They knew, I knew. They watched me more. Mom said, found this in your trash? She showed a candy wrapper. It was old. She said, date, December 2023. Now, January. I said, someone gave it to me at school. Mom said, someone gave you old candy? She put the wrapper down. She said, you ate it at night, after brushing teeth. I said, I forgot to throw it away. Mom knew. I knew she knew, but she had no proof. Max got worse. Time was short. Mom and Dad took room photos every night. They checked slippers, books. My Discord showed online at midnight. Mom said, proof. I said, mistake, Discord is broken. Mom showed my cousin's Instagram. She said, mistake too? You liked this at 11:38 p.m. I said, someone hacked me. Mom looked at me. I looked back. We knew, but we did not say it. Dad said at dinner, bad news. Max has 110. Not enough. Mom and Dad watched my face. They waited for me to be mad. Mom held her fork tight. Her hands were white. I just nodded. I looked sad. Max came. He put his head on my lap. It was quiet. We heard breathing. That night, I heard them plan. Dad said, test him tomorrow. Hurt the dog. Next night, 10 p.m., they stood outside my room. They walked to Max. He slept near my bed. Dad said loud, look at this bad dog. He can't walk. Mom said, he will die soon. Waste of money. Should have put him down before. I did not move. I was very angry. Then, Dad did it. He kicked Max's side. I jumped up. I yelled, don't touch Max. Mom and Dad turned. They looked happy. Dad yelled, we knew. You were not asleep. I said, calm. You stole from Grandma too. I have her bank app on my phone. She asked me to watch it. Money was gone. Dad tried to take my phone. I clicked send. I sent it to the family chat. That night, I heard them plan. Dad said, tomorrow, tell him Max dies. If he moves, he is not asleep. At 11 p.m., they stood outside. Mom said with fake tears, we must put Max to sleep tomorrow. Dad said, no choice, no money. They knew I heard. They broke the door. I sat up. I held my phone. I recorded. I yelled, you are bad. Why kill Max? Dad yelled, "We knew! You lied!" I said, "You stole from Grandma too. I have her bank app on my phone. She asked me to watch it. Money was gone." Dad tried to take my phone. I sent the message to family chat. My phone buzzed. Aunts, uncles, cousins saw the video. Mom tried to take my phone. I moved away. Max hid behind my legs. Dad's face turned red. He yelled about respect. My ears buzzed. My phone lit up. Grandma texted, "I am coming." Mom grabbed me. Her nails touched my arm. I ran. Max limped after me. Dad yelled, "No more phone!" I ran into the bathroom. I shut the door. I locked it. Dad hit the door. Max shivered. I touched his ribs. He cried. He shook. Through the door, I heard Mom. She called someone. She sounded scared. She said, "It is not true." Dad hit the door. He yelled, "Come out! Delete the video!" My phone showed 36 messages. Family asked, "Is this true?" Some were angry. Mom talked louder. She said, "We only told Max no. The child is too much." Max came close. I hugged him. His heart beat fast, like mine. For 35 minutes, they tried tricks, they yelled, then they talked sweet. They wanted me to open the door. I heard car doors. Grandma was here. My uncle was here. They came inside. I heard yelling. Grandma sounded very mad. My uncle said, "Let me see him, or I call police." Mom ran downstairs. They yelled louder. I stayed in the bathroom. Max was with me. I heard them argue about money, about Max, about me lying. My uncle yelled, "Police! Police!" It got quiet. Then I heard steps. Grandma whispered, "Child, come out. It is safe now." I opened the door. Grandma hugged me. Max pushed my legs. Grandma said, "Pack fast. I will watch." I put clothes and books in my bag. Grandma stood in the door. Dad stood in the hall. He said, "Bad child, you will be sorry." Mom watched from her room. She cried, but she did not stop us. Grandma held my shoulder. We walked down the stairs. My uncle waited. He took us to Grandma's car. I sat in back. Max sat on my lap. The doors closed. I cried hard. Grandma drove. She called her bank. She talked on the car speaker. She asked about money. She asked about passwords. She sounded worried. Max licked my face. He sat on my lap. He was big. Grandma looked at me in the mirror. She said, "All will be good now." She said, "You stay with me. We fix things." We got to Grandma's house. It felt calm, safe, but I could not sleep. Max slept next to me. He took most of the bed. I looked at my phone. Family chat was fighting. Some family believed Mom and Dad. They said, "It was just fun games. The child lies." Other family was mad. They were mad about stealing, mad about hurting Max. Grandma wrote, "Give us space. We need to handle this." Next morning, Grandma woke me early. She said, "Max needs the doctor now." We went to the animal doctor. They took x-rays. They saw bruises on Max's ribs. The doctor said, "Good news, no broken bones, but Max needs surgery soon. Bad news, it costs $4,300. For today, too." Grandma held my hand. She said, "We will find a way." I took photos of the doctor's paper. I sent them to family chat. They showed Max's hurt. They showed the cost. Mom texted me from a new number. She said, "You broke our family for a dog." My hands shook. I blocked her number. I did not answer. Monday at school, I was very tired. The counselor took me out of class. She asked, "Is home okay?" Her voice was soft. I told her everything. I told her about stealing, about Max, about living with Grandma. Her face got serious. She said, "I must call Child Protection Services. It is the law." My stomach hurt, but I knew she must do it. After school, Grandma took me to the bank. The bank lady showed us something bad. Money was missing, more than we thought. For 6 months, over $2,000 gone. Grandma's face turned white. She said, "Freeze all my accounts. Change all passwords, now." That night, Dad texted me. Many texts. I saw the words. He said, "We gave you everything. We worked hard for you. You have a good life." Grandma cooked dinner. More texts came. Dad said, "Gambling was just fun. We will pay back. We will win big next time." I took pictures of every text. I did not open them. Dad would not know. I put them in a folder. The folder was called Evidence. The counselor told me to do this. Max sat by my leg. I sat at Grandma's table. I watched my phone. More messages came. Max's tail wagged slow. He felt the stress. My Discord made a sound. Layla messaged me. She asked, "Where were you? 3 nights? Our clan played without you." My fingers shook a little. I typed everything. I told her, "Parents stole Max's money. Parents kicked Max. I live with Grandma now." Layla answered fast. She said, "My parents say you can play tonight. They understand. One normal thing helps. Your chest feels better." After dinner, Grandma got a calculator. We sat. We counted Max's surgery cost. It was $4,700 total. Grandma looked at her money. She could pay $3,000. I needed to pay $2,500. I needed a job fast. I looked for jobs on my phone. Grandma called her friend. Her friend had a pet store. She asked, "Do you need workers?" Max put his head on my lap. He knew. We did this for him. Mom and Dad sent angry texts for 2 days. Then an unknown number called me. I answered. A woman said, "I am from CPS. I work on your case. I need to meet you. I need to see where you live." Her voice was nice, but professional. She explained what would happen. I talked to her. Grandma held my hand. My voice shook. Grandma squeezed my hand. The woman asked, "Where do you live? Do you feel safe?" Next day, I did homework. I heard banging on Grandma's front door. Mom was outside. She screamed. She begged. She said, "Talk to me, please." Grandma went to the door. She did not open it. She said through the glass, "Go away. You are not wanted." Mom hit the door more. She yelled, "He is my baby. Grandma tells him bad things about me." Grandma called 911. I recorded with my phone. I stood in the hall. In 15 minutes, police came. I watched from the window. Police talked to Mom. She moved her arms a lot. She pointed at the house. The police officer shook his head. He told Mom, "Leave now, or you go to jail for trespassing." I saw police take Mom to her car. My stomach hurt. I knew she did it herself, but it hurt. Family chat was a big fight. Family took sides. Some said parents are addicts. Some said parents just need fun. They are stressed. Grandma wrote a long message. She said, "Set boundaries. Here is help for gambling." She said, "Helping them is bad for them." Dad answered fast. He said, "You are a bitter old woman. You want to steal my son." My aunt and 2 cousins saw this. They turned against Dad. They wrote, "We saw money missing too." 3 days later, Grandma drove me. We went to my parents' house. They were at work. I needed more things for my long stay. The house felt strange, cold, like strangers lived there, not my home. We moved fast. I took clothes, from dresser, from closet. I took school books, from desk. Most important, I took Max's medicine, from bathroom. I took my game headset. I took birthday cards from my drawer. The cards had money inside. Parents did not find it. I put everything in trash bags. Grandma watched the window. That night, I wanted to play with Riley and my clan. My phone died. It would not work. Grandma called the phone company. She found out parents turned off my phone. No warning. They wanted me alone. Grandma added me to her phone plan, fast. We spent 1 hour moving my phone number. It felt strange, needing someone for phone service. But I had no choice. Next day at school, the counselor helped me. We organized my evidence for CPS. We made a timeline. We printed pictures, Dad's texts, empty money box, empty Max's surgery jar. We made a file. It showed the pattern. They watched me. It had all their photos of my room. It had their videos of them testing me, especially the video Dad kicked Max. Everything was in order, by date. It was hard to deny. Months of this. The counselor said, "This will help your case a lot." After school, I went to a pet store near Grandma's house. Her friend was the manager. I filled out a job form at the counter. The manager said, "You like animals. You know about sick dogs. Good." He gave me a job. Weekends. Start Saturday. Pay was low, but every cent helped Max's surgery. Doing work helped me. I did not worry so much. 3 days later, counselor took me from math class. We went to her office. A woman waited. She wore a gray suit. She had a clipboard. She looked serious. She said, "I am CPS. Tell me everything, from the start." Counselor sat next to me. She nodded. I told the whole story. Fake sleeping, stolen money, video of Dad kicking Max. The CPS woman wrote fast in her notebook. She asked questions about the photos. How long did they watch me at night? Do I feel safe at Grandma's? After 1 hour, she said, "We will keep investigating. Case stays open." She gave me her card. She said, "Call if something happens." That afternoon, my phone buzzed. Family chat. My aunt made a GoFundMe for Max's surgery. Some family gave money, $30, $40. My uncle said, "You make the child rude. He should go home." The fight got big. Grandma stopped the chat for a while, but we had $400. That night, I used Discord. Riley messaged 13 times. She asked, "Are you okay?" My whole clan was online. I talked to them. They said, "We are glad you are safe. Play 3 hours is okay." We played 3 games. For 2 hours, I forgot problems. I played like a normal kid. Next morning, Grandma took Max to the vet. The doctor said, "Pain medicine helps, but Max needs surgery soon, in 3 weeks." We booked the surgery, in 15 days. Time to get the rest of the money. The countdown made me worry. I checked GoFundMe every few hours. 2 days later, I was in English class. The office assistant came. She said, "Your parents are here, to take you home." I went to the office. The principal talked to Grandma on speakerphone. Grandma said, "No." Security guards walked my parents to the parking lot. Mom yelled, "He is my child. I have rights." Now, my school file has a big red note about custody. Everyone in the office knows. That night, Grandma went to a meeting, Gam-Anon, at the community center. She came home, her eyes were red. She cried. She said, "Other people told stories about family gambling. It helped me. It is not my fault. I did not see it soon." She brought home papers about enabling, about boundaries. We read them on the couch. Max slept between us. The bank investigated Grandma's account. They asked parents, "Where did the money go?" Dad texted me, long message. He said, "You ruined our credit. You ruined our lives." I took a picture. I saved it in my evidence folder. Next week, I saw the counselor again, second time. We talked about guilt. I felt bad, even though parents stole. She said, "Consequences are not punishment. Parents took money, not theirs. Now they face results, natural results." It helped a little, but I still felt bad seeing them struggle after what they did to Max. Saturday morning, I went to the pet store. First day at work. I wore the blue shirt they gave me. The manager showed me how to use the cash register, how to scan items, how to count money, how to clean hamster cages, guinea pig cages. By lunch, my hands smelled like wood, like cleaner. I did not care. Every dollar helped Max. I got my work schedule for 3 weeks. I thought, if I work extra hours before Max's surgery, I can make $200. That evening, Grandma's lawyer friend came. She had many papers about custody, about guardianship. She said, "You are 16. The judge will listen. Where do you want to live? Where do you feel safe?" We filled out forms for temporary guardianship. Grandma would be my guardian. The lawyer said, "I will file these at court Monday for free." Tuesday morning, Dad called Grandma. He said, "I go to Gamblers Anonymous now. CPS said I must." Grandma put him on speakerphone. I heard his voice. It sounded fake. He said, "I take responsibility. I will change." Grandma looked at me. She rolled her eyes. After Dad hung up, Grandma said, "I will believe it when I see real change, not just showing up." Mom did not start any program. Later that day, CPS worker called. She said, "Mom says she has no problem. She says Dad has the problem." The worker said, "Their different attitudes cause problems." Not a surprise. That afternoon, 3 aunts messaged me. They saw my photo. Max looked sad. He had a cone from the vet. Each aunt sent money, with Venmo. Note said, "For sweet Max, get his surgery." My first paycheck came from the pet store, plus Grandma's savings. We had enough. $3,500 total. I sat on the floor, next to Max. I hugged him gently, around his sore ribs. I said, "We will fix you." Wednesday, CPS worker came. She checked Grandma's house. She made sure I was safe. She looked at my room. She asked about school. She saw clean clothes. She saw enough food. Max followed us. He wagged his tail slowly. The worker seemed interested. She said, if parents finish counseling, you might see them, with someone watching. I nodded, but my stomach felt tight. I did not like the thought. Thursday afternoon, a police officer met me, at my parents' house. I needed more things for my long stay at Grandma's. Mom waited in the doorway. She watched. I took my winter clothes, my Xbox, my schoolwork. Mom's face was puffy. She cried. When I walked past, with my last bag, she whispered, I am sorry. Police stood between us. I wanted to believe her, but I thought about Max's surgery money in Mom's purse. Night before Max's surgery, I could not eat. Grandma made chicken. I moved it on my plate. Riley texted me, funny videos, dog pictures, to distract me. My hands shook too much. I could not type well. Grandma noticed. She said, Max can sleep on your bed tonight. Usually, Max slept on his bed, on the floor. Max curled up next to me. I lay awake, most of the night. My hand on Max's side. I felt him breathe. Saturday morning, 7 a.m., we took Max to the vet, for surgery. The vet said, surgery takes 4 hours. We will call when he wakes up. Grandma and I sat in the waiting room. We drank bad coffee from their machine. We looked at old magazines. We did not really read. Other people came. They left. They took their healthy pets home. We waited. Finally, noon. The vet came out. She still wore her scrubs. She said, surgery went well. We removed the growth. Max needs much rest, but he will heal fully. I cried, right there, in the waiting room. Grandma hugged me. She smelled like lavender. Sunday morning, I posted a picture on Family Chat. Max at the vet. He had a cone, bandages. My uncle responded. He had defended parents before. Now he sent heart emojis. Mom texted me from a new number. I did not know it. She said, I am glad Max is okay. I looked at her message for a long time. I saved the number. I did not answer. Max came home 2 days after surgery. He needed medicine every 4 hours. He needed help to go to the bathroom. School said it was okay. I missed class to care for Max. Max was very weak. He could barely stand. But he saw me. His tail wagged, very soft. It made everything worth it. I slept on the floor, next to Max's bed. I set alarms all night for his medicine. The pet store manager changed my schedule. She did not ask. She let me work short shifts. She let me leave if Max needed me. My coworkers gave me a box for Max. It had soft blankets, special dog food for recovery. Max could not have real baths yet. One groomer gave me dry dog shampoo. Their kindness surprised me. I hurried to the bathroom. I did not want them to see me cry. 2 weeks later, CPS scheduled a visit with my parents at their office, downtown. Supervised visit. We walked into a room. Beige walls, bright lights, plastic chairs. Felt like another world. Dad looked older, dark circles under his eyes. Mom kept touching her purse strap. We sat at a round table. CPS worker took notes. We talked about safe things. My grades, the weather. No one talked about Max. No money, no gaming. The hour ended. We stood up. Awkward. Mom reached for me. Then she pulled her hand back. Dad just nodded. They left first. I stayed. I talked to the worker about the visit. She asked, do you feel safe going back to Grandma's? I said, yes. I signed papers for her report. Outside, Grandma waited, in her car, in the parking lot. I got in. I felt very tired. No energy. We drove home, quiet. When we arrived, Max came to me. He leaned on my legs. He followed me to the couch. I fell down on it. Max climbed on the couch, next to me. His surgery spot still hurt. He put his head on my lap. I watched TV, but I did not see it. Next day, school counselor noticed. I was quiet, more than usual. After our meeting, she talked to me. She said, healing takes time. It is a process. She showed me a picture, a line. It went up and down, not straight up. She said, most kids feel worse after first meetings, then things get better. Max knew something was wrong. He stayed close, all evening, within 3 feet of me. He followed me to the bathroom. He waited outside the door. 2 weeks later, Grandma took me to a community center. Her Gam-Anon group had a special day, Family Day. They had snacks, folding chairs, and a big circle. I did not want to go, but Grandma thought it might help meet others, similar problems. About 30 people were there, 5 or 6 kids, my age. They sat in a corner. They looked uncomfortable, like me. The leader asked, "Does anyone want to share?" 3 people told stories. Then I raised my hand. I did not mean to. I told them everything. The watching games, the stolen money, Max's surgery, how strange it was, seeing my parents at the supervised visit. When I finished, break time, a kid came to me. He said, "My dad did similar things with my college money." We exchanged phone numbers with other kids our age. That night, someone made a group chat called GA Kids. We could talk there, no adults. 3 weeks after Max's surgery, I put his leash on, first time. We walked slowly to the end of Grandma's driveway. Max's legs were wobbly. He stopped a lot to sniff things, but his tail wagged the whole time. We walked halfway down the block. Then Max panted hard. I carried him back. He weighs about 40 pounds. Each day, we walked a little more. Finally, we walked all around the block. Max walked the whole time. At his checkup, the vet said, "Bones heal perfectly. Muscles get stronger every day." Mom and Dad went to counseling 2 times a week. CPS told me after 2 months, they asked for more visits. The judge said yes, 1 visit per week, in a public place, no one watching. First meeting was at a coffee shop, downtown. Grandma dropped me off. Mom and Dad sat at a corner table. I came in, Dad stood up. He looked unsure. Hug or not? We did an awkward half wave. Mom bought my favorite drink. It sat at my seat, getting cold. I was 5 minutes late. I almost drove away in the parking lot. We talked about safe things, a TV show we watched, how the coffee shop changed since last year. No one talked about gambling, Max, money. At the end, Mom said, "We work hard to change." I nodded. I said, "I must go. Grandma waits." I left. I did not know. Did I want them to change or stay mad forever? School was better, living at Grandma's. No more pretending to sleep, no more exhaustion. Chemistry teacher talked to me after class. She said, "Your test scores are better. Do you have a tutor?" I said, "Home is more stable now." She smiled. She understood. My English grades got better. Math made more sense. I could focus, not worry about being watched at night. 3 months later, report card came. All B's, 2 A's, best grades since middle school. Grandma put it on the fridge with a cat magnet. She took a picture, sent it to my aunt. 6 weeks after reporting fraud, the bank called Grandma. Investigation done. They recovered most stolen money. Parents had to sign a paper, pay back the rest. Almost 3 years. Bank gave Grandma a check, $1,800. She put it in a new account, different bank, across town. That night, Dad texted me. He said, "Payments will ruin our credit, but we deserve it." 3 months at pet store. Manager called me to her office. I thought, trouble. But no. She said, "I promote you. Shift supervisor. Pay raise $150 per hour. New duties. Count register. Train new staff." I liked it. Something to focus on, not family drama. My first certificate came. Employee of the month. Grandma bought a frame. Dollar store. She hung it next to my report card. 4 months after surgery, Max was fully recovered. He ran in Grandma's backyard. He chased squirrels. He never catches them. His limp was gone. He could jump on my bed by himself. Before, he could barely walk. Now he could. Watching him play, tug of war with a rope toy, running on grass, made every hard decision worth it. Max still slept next to my bed, every night. Sometimes he put his paw on the mattress to check I was there. One afternoon, I came home from school. A note was on the kitchen counter. Mom's handwriting. Inside, 2 pages. Mom said she was sorry. No excuses, no blame. She wrote about therapy. She started it herself, not court-ordered. She wrote about addiction. In her childhood, she said, "I understand if you never forgive me, but I want you to know, I am sorry for stealing from you, for Max, for watching you, for lying." I read it 3 times. I folded it carefully. I put it in my desk drawer. I was not ready to answer, but I did not throw it away. Someone suggested, meet at the mall, Saturday. GA Kids group chat became real. 4 of us came. We walked around, we ate pretzels, we made fun of expensive clothes. No one talked about parents, gambling, treatment. We met every weekend, saw movies, ate food. Sometimes we just sat in someone's car, listened to music, complained about homework. Having friends who understood, no explanation needed, made things feel lighter, less strange. Spring came, spring went. Family group chat changed. Now garden photos, birthday reminders, not angry messages about stolen money. Some cousins still did not talk to parents, but most moved on, had their own problems. Dad went to GA meetings every Tuesday, every Thursday. He collected plastic chips for staying clean. He got a 6-month chip. He texted me a picture. He invited me to the meeting. When he received it, I went to the community center. I saw Dad stand up in front of 30 people, all gamblers. He told his story. He lost his family to scratch-off tickets, to sports betting. His voice shook when he remembered. Kicking Max, stealing from Grandma, stealing from me. After the meeting, Dad came to me. He had the blue chip. He said, "Thanks for coming." Parents signed the papers, no fighting. Court date for Grandma's guardianship came early. We waited in the courtroom, small room, about 20 minutes. The judge asked questions, basic questions. My living situation, my school attendance. Parents sat 2 rows back. They looked at their phones. The judge stamped the papers. It was official now. We walked out. Grandma had the legal papers in her purse. Felt like fresh air after months. Animal shelter near Grandma's house. Needed weekend volunteers. I applied. I told them about pet store experience. Max came with me. I made him a therapy animal. Online program. Cost $100. Scared dogs at shelter relaxed when Max sat by their cages. Max wagged his tail. Dogs sniffed him through bars. One pit bull mix. He hissed at everyone, but he let Max lick his face through the fence. The pit bull even ate again after 3 days of not eating. Every first Saturday, parents came to Grandma's for dinner. Strict rules. What we could talk about. Mom brought dessert from grocery store bakery. Dad washed dishes after we ate. We talked about weather, TV shows, Max's new tricks. Never money, never past, never important things. Dinners got less awkward after the 3rd dinner. Dad said, "I got promoted, assistant manager at my warehouse job." Riley messaged me about a gaming convention 2 hours away. Her parents said, "We will drive you, split gas money." Meeting Riley in person after 2 years online felt weird for 5 minutes. Then she made her joke about bad teammates. Same joke on Discord. Then it felt normal. We spent all day there, played new games, ate expensive pizza, watched cosplayers. They posed for photos. Riley bought me a keychain. It looked like Max from a vendor. The vendor makes custom pet items. I bought Riley a poster, signed by our favorite streamer. Having someone there who knew my whole story but treated me normal made the convention the best day ever. My guidance counselor helped me apply to colleges. One college had a good vet program. They gave partial scholarships to students who overcame hardship. Acceptance letter came in April. Enough financial aid. With loans, with Grandma's help, it would work. Grandma read it at the kitchen table. She cried. She posted about it in family group chat. Both parents sent congratulations with heart emojis. Getting Max approved as emotional support animal for dorms took 3 applications. A note from my therapist, but housing office said yes. Junior year ended. I packed boxes for college. Max followed me around the house. He knew something was changing. Parents came to graduation. They sat with Grandma. They took pictures, like a normal family. But we were not normal for over a year. Life settled. Good routine. Max is healthy. He trots at dog park every morning before my pet store shift. College starts in 3 months. I saved enough money for books, for supplies, thanks to pay raises. Parents keep going to meetings, therapy. Max sleeps next to my bed every night. His paw touches the mattress to check I am still there. One afternoon, I graduated. I packed boxes for college. Max followed me around the house. He knew something was changing. Parents came to graduation. They sat with Grandma. They took pictures, like a normal family. But we were not normal for over a year. Life settled. Good routine. Max is healthy. He trots at dog park every morning before my pet store shift. College starts in 3 months. I saved enough money for books, for supplies, thanks to pay raises. Parents keep going to meetings, therapy. Max sleeps next to my bed every night. His paw touches the mattress to check I am still there.